What up, y'all? Long time no see. Legacy Brewpub coming in with some Reanimator. It's been a while. We have cause to shake things up, given how the meta is being destroyed right now. Absolutely eviscerated. In order to fix this, we're going to run our super secret tech. It's a card that you've never seen, probably never even heard of. Emissary of Grudges. Does this thing win versus the initiative? I have no idea. It's pretty awesome though. Let's give it a read, shall we? 6 mana, 5 and a red. So it's kind of castable, maybe. Flying haste. Those seem like not bad effects. As it enters the battlefield, secretly choose an opponent. Could be anyone. You may reveal the player chosen to choose new targets for a spell or ability if it's controlled by the chosen player, and if it targets you or a permanent you control. Activate only once. So the thought is this thing kind of steals the initiative away from the initiative creatures with its haste ability, and it kind of negates their first swords effect or whatever with its activated ability. You can secretly choose any opponent. Other than that, the main board is pretty stock. We're running 2 Griefs, 3 Thoughtseize. I have 1 Chromox, given how fast the meta is these days. It's totally fine not to run this and just run another Thoughtseize instead. I'm on 2 Grief instead of 4, 3, or 0. Uh, Grief just doesn't seem that good for me when I get above 3 right now. Still rocking the one of Sarah's Emissary. I'm rocking the Villas Broker of Blood. I was off of this card for a long time. And then a pro player did really well with it. So I decided to give it a chance, and it's pretty awesome. So the thought is that, the traditional thought was it only combos with the card Reanimate. So you cast Reanimate targeting Villas, you draw 8 cards, and you go to town. But it has some flavor text right here. This right here. A swamp, pay 2 life, target creature gets -1/-1. That's actually not too bad. Not too shabby from old Villas here. You can mow down, back when Affinity was good, you could mow down Thopters. Against Elves, it's nearly unbeatable. It actually shores up the matchup against Fiend, Artisan, Control Elves. It's not bad versus a lot of decks. So I've been running this, and it's been performing pretty well. Big fan. Sucks that it's a legendary. It's a 8/8, so it actually can tango with Murktide. That should never really come up though. Speaking of Murktide, it's actually not bad in that Delver matchup either. So the main board is pretty stock. I'm on 2 Archon. Normally people would be running 3 or 4. Instead of a third one, I'm running the Villas. Emissary of Grudges there on our sideboard and Chancellor of the Annex are the only creatures that we have. I'm off of Iona, given that Thoracle isn't really doing too much right now. It's totally fine to run an Iona. It's just on the online meta, every deck you face is either Blue Red Delver or Initiative. I'm about to fire up this league, and I suspect we're going to play Initiative 3 times, Blue Red Delver once, and maybe a lands variant once. I'm up to 3 Silence. I don't think 3 is necessary, but I've been kind of wanting to play around with this, and we'll see if it comes up. 2 Serenity and 2 Wear Tear. I think it's totally fine to go up more Wear Tear. I think 3 might be good, given how prevalent Saga is. Also, you kind of want the Wear Tear over the Serenity versus the Initiative matchup, just because Wear Tear is faster. One of Coffin Purge in the sideboard. I've been running it on and off online. Like, you don't run into Reanimator that much, and if you do, it's like a toss up either way. So this is fine to side out if you're looking for something else. Before we get started, while I got you here, go ahead and drop me a subscribe or a comment, and hopefully, with a little bit more popularity on the channel, I'll be able to run this. This is my black-white Innit Reanimator. It's based off the Japanese list. And then I worked with the Reanimator Discord a bit, and it's kind of what we came up with for a black-white Reanimator initiative. It runs 8 initiative creatures: Sarah's Emissary, Ashen Rider, Gristlebrand, Archon. I put the Ashen Rider Cabal Therapy package in over, like, say, Thoughtseize or whatever. Ashen Rider pitches both the Grief and Solitude, so that's pretty cool. It might be correct on more or less. And then in the sideboard, I'm still working on it. Maybe Worship is terrible. Who knows? This is just cards that I think about as I put together the deck. So I wouldn't take the sideboard too seriously. But the main board, I'm pretty happy with how this is, and I would love to try it. So if you like what I do, hit me up down below. You know how it works. And now, let's go see if we can kill some initiative. All right. Game one, we have a pretty unkeepable hand, I would say. We can get some better cards here. I'm going to ship this. All right, obviously this is a Sarah's Emissary on turn 2 plan, which isn't very good. It's also not very bad. It might be keepable. Putting back Dark Ritual. It's a pretty weak hand. We can do better on 5, but let's see. Our opponent begins with 7 cards. Already, right away, we're faced with a risky decision. I think we'll keep it. We'll give her a shot. You normally don't want to do this, Sarah's Emissary is very good, though. Ooh. Bloodstained Mire, like, totally gives away our game plan, especially if our opponent is savvy. I didn't go for the turn 1 Thoughtseizing myself, just because they led on Island. Island is super good being reactive, so Thoughtseizing yourself is going to be pretty tough. But I will do that here next turn, especially if I don't grab a Grief or anything. Ooh, Prismatic Vista, that's not good. Alright, so we're definitely facing some sort of control soup, perhaps. Might actually just go for the Villas. I go for Sarah's on instant too, and maybe that can get there. Faced with the decision already. Yeah, we'll go for Sarah's on instant. See how that works out. It is possible that this is a endurance deck, and it is very important not to cast Animate Dead on the Sarah's Emissary and give him a target for Prismatic Ending. Alright, so control confirmed. We're pretty far behind now. If we had a bend Villas instead of Sarah's Emissary, the Animate Dead would have been a better backup plan. I still think Sarah's on instant probably helps us out quite a bit. Plateau. Oh, sassy. The best draw is definitely Faithless Looting. It's 100% not that. I'm actually not even going to go for Anime Dead on Sarah's because we just get blown out by Prismatic, and our opponent, of course, isn't pressuring us, which is their calling card. I have no idea what's going on in this art here. He's like shredding a whole bunch of paper or something. And his hand glows things red or something? I don't know. They did nothing and passed the turn. Well, that's good. Entomb is just fire. But I imagine they have, since they have 3 lands up, they probably have like a Force of Negation or something. So we're just going to wait on this Entomb. Well, now's a good time, actually. Yeah, that resolved. No, they did have negation, then it wasn't too good of a fetch there. I wonder if this is some sort of Standstill too, because Standstill is mostly the one that plays the Shark Typhoon these days. They actually got a fetch that fetches multiple colors. That's tough. They reveal a counter spell. Narset's the perfect card to get. 100%. I'm going for Sarah's Emissary because they have Narset out here. I'm still going to name Instant. Alright, they let us resolve this. Naming Instant. Hopefully we can get rid of this Narset next turn. It is likely that they'll untap and Prismatic End. Them's the beats. I suppose there's a small chance they have another Planeswalker. That's fun. Balancing creature, as is tradition. Still have a counterspell, just chilling. They tapped in such a fashion that they're not able to use it. Oh, Standstill. Brutal. Here's the cards we know about. So evoking grief and then animating it isn't good. It's not bad. It's technically a thing that we can do. This Teferi's a little far from minusing again. Narset's pain. I think we're gonna grief here. Grief kind of negates Standstill a little bit. We're up to 8 cards in hand. Basically infinite. We'll be a lot more favored here in game 2, depending on the variant of Jeskai control they are. This opponent appears to be pretty soft. He lets us check out what he's got pretty frequently. Let's see. This another Standstill, 2 Ponders, a counterspell, and a force. This is like the perfect hand for them. They have no pressure. I almost want to take the Standstill and the swords again. And then if they force, whatever. I get a lot of cards from them, that's for sure. I'm gonna go Standstill force. Just trying to shore up as many cards as we can. Faithless Looting is a terrible draw because of the Narset. We don't even get that. So they took a force and a ponder. So Grief, Villas, and Animate Dead were good for force, ponder, and standstill. Doesn't get much better than that. We're still alive to like a reanimate on Grief. That'll be really nice. They have 2 swords, of course, so that's kind of annoying. Unmask is great if I could hardcast it. Unmasking myself to get the Sarah's Emissary in the graveyard may not be bad either, but I need to be able to cast it. 1 mana away for that. They're also probably perpetually holding up this counterspell. It seems like a real good idea for them. Teferi's back up to 3, so that can downtick. Hardcasting Shark Typhoon is terrible. I don't know why they would do it. Right, I think we can safely scoop here. Keep on playing it out. We kept a bad, I wouldn't say bad, but this is like an extremely weak opening Reanimator hand. And they were just allowed to execute their game plan. so is there anything that we can do here? They have a Teferi with 4 counters. Narset, Shark Typhoon, 1 counter spell, 2 swords. How do we navigate this here? There ain't a lot that we can do. An Animate Dead, the Grief. That doesn't even do anything. They could just counter it. They can swords it. Doesn't even matter. Animate Dead, the Gristlebrand, and that does also less. They can just bounce it with the fairy. They don't even take anything for that. We can unmask. Yeah, we're pretty boned here. Let's just go to game 2. Against Jeskai control, they don't often have hard graveyard hate, so I like bringing in the silence. Some amount of silence. Between 0 and 3, I think it's good. 1 or 2 is often good. And all of these creatures are great against them. Some people bring in Chancellor against Jeskai control, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. Take out this Chromox. We don't need to be turbo. And I'm just gonna take out 1 Thoughtseize. So we got 2 Silence. Silence and Thoughtseize perform the same function. They're essentially like counter me or I do what I want. Thoughtseize is counter me or I take what I want. So they kind of perform the same function. So this is pretty fair. Nice tight list. All right. So right away we're put to the test. I actually really like this hand though. I'm gonna keep this, and I like it because we get some play with Thoughtseize and Faithless. Although where you want to be with Jeskai is executing in the combo on the play. So we'll see how this shakes out. But I'm gonna open up on Thoughtseizing them and see how this plays out. They're down to 5 cards. It's crazy. They'll often keep like a 4 swords hand when they're down to 5. Maybe even like Caracas swords. Yep. So 4 swords, exactly how we drew it up. Gonna take that force. Go ahead and bin Gristlebrand here. Fire. I'm actually gonna bin the land too. That way I can unmask away the swords. Yeah. Feels good. Nothing to reanimate. They can't play their standstill. I'm gonna loot here and maybe we can get another unmask. Immediately rewarded. Reanimating Timeless Dragon is great too. That also feels real good. If they want to play Standstill, they can play Standstill. And I realize I have Exhume plus Timeless Dragon, and they're pretty not well to do here. All right, so that one shook up nicely. Now we were on the play. I think bringing Silence in on the play isn't as good as bringing it in on the draw. Since they saw how good we did there, I think they're gonna mulligan to Rest in Peace. Sometimes they play that, and I think given how aggressively he mulliganed, he's probably going to do that again. I'm going to leave 1 in. Go up like this. So 1 Wear Tear or 1 Silence? What do you think? Should I bring in the Wear Tear or Silence here? I think they're going to go in. Yeah, I think they're going to go in on a Rest in Peace pretty hard. I think this will pay off long term. Shout outs to RK Post. I wonder who was the inspiration for this. You know, like who's the lady he's drawing? perfect hand. This is a turn 2, whatever we want. Animate Dead is great. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Our opponent is down to 6 cards currently. If you're watching this channel, you probably already know my thoughts on grief and why I run so many unmasked Thoughtseize and griefs. It's just because you always want to open up with one. It always feels so good. Reanimate is probably our best draw here. Is this not a turn 2 or a turn 1? Jeez. So if they don't have double interaction, we just get Gristlebrand. As they force pitch into Fairy. So they either have like the Rest in Peace, like we were talking about, or they have a Surgical Extraction. We don't beat either one of those if they resolve, so I'm just going to go for it now. It's our best odds, I think. Oh, looks like they had Rest in Peace. We got it from here. Oh, they had nothing. They just kept force 3 lands. Wow, that is aggressive. Oh. We actually got boned on our draws too. Wow. I'm going to keep this in hand for later. Look at that. That's crazy. We drew all these lands, fatties. Got a couple, bangers, but we were off to a win. Wow. I think our opponent played a little loosey goosey there, but we got there. All right. See you for match 2. All right. We're back for round 2. We are on play. This is a hand with uncastable cards. This is a hand that does not do the things we want it to do. I have not seen Villas in my opener this much. This hand does everything. Yeah, just gotta play it like this. We'll wait to cast this in Tomb. Hopefully we draw a black card. Our odds are pretty good. So Marsh Flats, our opponent should already know what we're doing. But they're initiative, so they don't care. Ooh. It's funny, we're like 1 mana away from hard casting on Mask. So they let on Windswept Heath. Could be an insane amount of decks. Goblins, lands, whatever. You might actually see that Villas come into play. I said goblins. Ooh, look at them. They're Infect. Ah, that's so cute. Aw. Let's go ahead and take a little peeksy. A little sneaky peeky. Of note, I did snap out that Exhume. If it's another Entomb, that depends on whether or not you want to pitch it. Entomb's without a doubt the most powerful spell in the deck, by the way. This was once banned in Legacy. No other deck plays a card that was once banned in Legacy except for us, so this is without a doubt the best card in the deck. Let's just try and remember that going forward. All right, so they chose to hide stuff on top. You have 1 fetch land, so they can fetch away some card. Tamiyo's Safekeeping. I haven't seen this before. Target permanent you control gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. You gain 2 life. Aren't there better cards that do that? What am I missing here? I don't know. Glistener Elf and Pendlehaven. and a Vines of Vastwood. This is still a little far. Maybe I'll take the Vines. I feel like Villas is going to show up here. But since our life isn't in danger at all, execute our combo. And this, what I just did, is like the whole point of the deck. You know, get yourself into a position where you can do what I just did, and then make all those clicks. You know, that's all it really comes down to. Hmm. Our opponent is very stubborn. Props to him though. I will take your one card. Damn. I've never actually been able to attack with like both of these at the same time. Everybody always concedes. If he swings, then I might just block with Gristlebrand, and then that'll give me enough life to reanimate Villas and still activate it, you know, which is like a non-zero plan here. I don't know. I guess putting Villas in the graveyard is technically kind of like a misplay, giving out some small modicum of information, but I really doubt it. Show and tell is free. They don't put in anything for that. I think silence is also. I don't really have an Infect sideboard plan ready to go. Sarah's Emissary and Creature wins. I don't think they have anything to interact with that. Um, Obviously, the rest of our suite here is just gas. Trying to think of what they would have. It's probably just surgical. Um, Show and tell is just so free. It feels so free. Chancellor feels free also, but I don't think I am going to go that route. Silence also feels like it can be pretty not bad, you know? If you ever just want to stop them from doing the thing, but silence, but they seem all pretty weak options. Wear Tear has some text versus Ink Moth Nexus. I feel like we're just gas. I'm not going to change anything, actually. I suppose, if anything, I kind of wish I had a little bit more discard, because I'm pretty sure the only thing they're going to have is surgical here. Does it help you guys if I talk through what they could or could not have? Leave me a comment down below. Just interested in hearing what you have to say. This is pretty much the best possible. So I have really good turn one play here. Yeah. So hands with Entomb are just so good. Sometimes I almost keep hands that have Entomb just because they have Entomb. I'm gonna stack this just in case they kept a surgical hand. That way they can't hit anything. Oh, wow, they took. So let's get up the cards here. Took Force, that's kind of free. They can't cast Swords to Plowshare. Well, they can actually. They have Noble Hierarch. See why they made the play they did. You know what? Tom Ross, the boss, always said if you can play Glistener Elf on turn one, you should. And this opponent did not do that. That Blighted Agent was force fodder, I imagine. This Glistener Elf is probably their game plan. So do I take Ponder here? Taking Ponder feels so good. Oh, that gets me so far away. I'm actually gonna unmask away this ponder. Shh. Pew 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 pew. I feel kind of bad. Infect is like 100% my deck of choice. Back in the day, it's the deck I'd have performed my highest result with. I got top 4 at an SCG event. And now we can just like mow down this Glistener Elf. I suppose they could have Force or something, but this works as intended either way. My opponent rereading Villas, Broker of Blood, wondering why am I drawing this many cards? It's because it happens. The way reanimate is written is put a creature onto the battlefield under your control, then you lose life equal to that mana. Right? Draw 8 cards. Let's see. So now I have just free reign. I can do anything I want. A part of me just wants to like, geez, just go Gristlebrand and stuff, but not. To be fair, this is like you'll never. I don't think that deck can beat this. What do they have in other swords? Probably not. I guess playing that Villas into that swords was kind of annoying. Shouldn't ought not have done that. Why don't I just draw like infinite cards? All right, so we're off to a good start with 0 initiative. Come on, how are we supposed to test it if can't get matched against it? All right, we'll be back for round 2. All right, homies, we back. We back for round 3. Trying out this initiative killer reanimator build. We have a Yorion revealed. So with Reorion, with Reorion, Reorion, I always mulligan until I can find a turn 1. Here's really close. I'm just gonna keep this bottom this here Lotus Petal done. Um, 80 cards, 4 forces. You know they ain't got nothing going on. Exile this here Villas Broker of Blood. Notice that they are immediately a Caracas, White Plume, Simeon. Just a soup deck, aren't you? Hmm. I wonder if I don't even know what I'm gonna get here. This Simeon Spirit Guide and Chaos of Caves sure suck. I think I'm probably still gonna get Gristlebrand. But I take a White Plume. What does Chaos do? When it enters the battlefield initiative, whenever it attacks, exile the top card. If you've completed a dungeon, you can do stuff. Otherwise, you may play it. Okay. Kind of almost nothing. I got 2 initiatives and a chaos adventure. So they're gonna go Caracas go. Then they get Ancient Tomb Caracas. Then they get Ancient Tomb Caracas plus Simeon into caves. Maybe I'll just take the White Plume. That seems not too good. Also not too bad. Go ahead and cast this. You have no removal. Maybe I just take the Archon. I can't be. It's got to be. It's got to be getting some cards. If I had a Villas, this would be better. No, it wouldn't. Do I get the Archon? I think it's Archon time. I hardly ever think that Archon is the right play. Just to in 2-month play, it's almost always better to Brand plus 7 cards, but didn't go that way this time. We executed the combo, so it's important to note. Um, Drawing on mask is good. If only we had another black card. We don't. So they take the initiative. That's good for us. If they do other things, it's bad for us. All right. So we got there against red white initiative soup. Oh, we get to do it. We're doing a thing, boys. I totally forgot that I put this in the deck. All right. Let's do it. So we're gonna get 2 of these. We'll take out the 2 Archons. Oh, man, those Archons feel good too. Kind of hate can we expect from them? They cannot possibly be a Leyline of the Void deck, right? I don't often keep up with the latest meta decks either, so seeing stuff like this is pretty cool. Seeing them doing like crazy Yorion shit. um, so I kind of do want 1 Archon. We'll keep it 1. I'm expecting them to be really explosive, kind of annoying, like really annoying. So like thought seizes are just gonna like take away like a surgical. Let's say that they have that, something like that. Surgical sword, some sort of answer. Unmask could hit ourselves. So I think Grief is probably our weakest link here. Grief and Emissary of Grudges work together. That you can redirect the thing, but they seem so aggressive. They'll probably have a creature out. We'll just try it like this. We can think about show and tell for game 3. Let's see what they have. It's you don't often see Leyline of the Void in 80 card decks just because they have to mulligan so aggressively for it. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm mulling aggressively for like this. This is a turn 1 on the play. Oh yeah, we're keeping this. Faithless Looting's a dead card. That's annoying, but they began the game with 7 cards in hand, and so will I. One, two, three, light bloom. Let's go. Elite Spellbinder. Hate stacks. So there's one clear way to play initiative versus Reanimator, and that's doing what this opponent did, is always have a turn 1 stacks piece on the play. And then if you mulligan, bottom all of your initiative creatures, because if we unmask and reanimate it, now we are in a really strong position. So doing what our opponent did here is clearly like really good move. Yeah, that's obviously the best card to take. Do we do it, folks? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's why you fuck around and find out, son. I don't know why you would dilute your massive combo with. Oh wow, we got so many things. Oh, all right. Well, we're just off to the greatest league of the last 3 months I've played. I have not gone 3 and X at all. So let's just keep it rolling, should we? We stomped initiative with our Emissary of Grudges or whatever. Real great card here, helped out a lot. Let's just keep it going. I'll see you in 4. All right, we are back. Let's see. We've played 3 games just so far, 1 initiative. We have an Entomb, Gristlebrand, Faithless. I'm actually going to keep this hand even though we have no payoff. Uh, it'll be a bit slow. It's a bit of a gamble. You don't often want to keep a hand without like the combo in it. You know, you can mulligan to some really good cards. We have some bangers here. Island go from our opponent. This man is obviously unhinged, playing what could be considered the most powerful opener in Magic. Let's see how he feels about us playing this. Let's see. I could have kept something and pitched it to Chromox, but I'm not about to go card disadvantage. Also, pitching like Sarah's Emissary would have probably been into play there. I'm not going to do that. Not going to pitch Entomb, that's for sure. Wow. Oop. So they're just holding up hard counterspell. Chromox isn't looking too good, but this Faithless Looting flashback is going to be great. I'm just going to go see how many cards I can get for this. Hopefully between. Ooh, oh wow. Not what I would have expected. Okay, so they did force. So I got 3 cards for this. 3 cards for this one Reanimate. That's real good. Force pitching Shark Typhoon. They dress down to now down to 3 cards in hand. I shouldn't have played this Lotus Petal. I don't know why, but I always do this. I hate it. I'm still not gonna pitch Entomb to Chromox. Probably could now knowing that they're probably not a endurance deck, but that still doesn't feel good. Also, what's up with all these Jeskai control guys? Huh? What are you guys doing on League? Stop that. All right, so they did pitch 3 cards for that Reanimate, so that makes me wonder if they're possibly going to go in on Standstill or something of that sort. I think we got pretty lucky in that they didn't cast a Narset. I don't. Most times decks don't play days, so I'm not too concerned about that. Next turn we can hardcast this Grief. I might actually just entomb another Faithless Looting into the bin. I'm British now because I say the bin instead of the graveyard. We have 3 cards in hand. I hesitate to say that they're spells. It could be like a Jace and like a Wandering Emperor or something. Ooh, AK Miracles? What? That's not Miracles, is it? Yeah, that Flashback Faithless and these 2 lands into spells was real good. Big fan. Hardcasting Grief here. Yep. Shark Typhoon Cycle. I hate that you can respond to it because it's like cycling. You know, it's an activated ability. You could like it just feels weird to respond to a cycle. Mm. Sassy, big fan. Wow. Okay. Maybe we can turn this into 2 reanimate spells or something. Spinning a lot of wheels here. Let's see. We've got 1 reanimate spell, 2 reanimate spells. We're 36 cards left in library. That's a lot. A lot of cards we've gone through for 2 reanimate spells. Draw 2, accumulate knowledge. Oh, so broken. The Wandering Emperor does have text against us. Probably gonna go for just Archon here. Put Swords to Plowshares in the graveyard. Interessante. Do we flashback Faithless here? You know, does that get him? It feels kind of free to do. Can't believe how few cards we've gotten. I'm actually just gonna go for the Archon because I feel like we're so favored to draw a reanimate spell. I also don't really think this is gonna resolve. 32 cards, so we're 28 cards in. We've had 2 reanimate spells so far. Do we go for grief here? Let's always go for Whistlebrand. What I tell you, pretty favored for drawing that reanimate spell though. I'm gonna wait to activate this Gristlebrand. If they make a move, I will. But Archon's pretty powerful here. This is kind of the creature we want right now. And if they thought that they were going in on Prismatic Ending on the Archon, now they have also this Gristlebrand to deal with. Wandering Emperor gets pretty weak in this position. Unexpectedly absent. I love the wording on this card. Oh my god. Put target non-land permanent into its owner's library just beneath the top X cards. I am going to activate him, go down to 1. Wow. All the unmasks. Now he might be able to PE animate dead here. Thank god this doesn't have haste. Actually, would like another Entomb. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I could name land. I'm not going to name land though. For Caracas, could name land. He's only had 1 sword, so I'm going to name instant for sure here. Yeah. So brand. Oh, all right. All right. So once again, you guys know my Jeskai sideboarding now. It's 0 to 2 silences. We're going to be on the draw, so silence is going to be a bit better. It's like an instant speed Thoughtseize, so I tend to go in on that a little bit more. Take out these. Grief is really good. Reanimating Grief on turn 1 is excellent play. So I'm just going to make a shift over to Thoughtseize. Once again, you can't bring in the Chancellor. I don't. I only do this for combo. Um, it's not bad though. You know, it's just up to your own how you do best with the deck. I just don't bring it in. Is Emissary of Grudges good here? Should we consider this for a second? So we could secretly choose an opponent, which I just feel like is the best ability in the game. Okay, not gonna lie. Secretly choosing an opponent is my favorite ability of all time. All right, and then we can move that around. I don't think so. Hitting a planeswalker does feel good. You know what? We'll bring 1 in. All right, all right. I'm sold on bringing 1 in. We'll bring 1 in. We'll take out the 1 Archon. I hate that. We'll take out a Chrome Mox. All right, all right. This is for some degree of marbles. This is for a 4/1. Oh, wow. Such prestige. Alright, our opponent begins the game with 7 cards in hand. We have an Unmask and a Gristlebrand, so we can unmask there. Silence is great. We went 32 cards in, or 28 cards in, and we only saw 2 reanimation effects, so I'm not going to keep that. This is a perfect hand. I'm going to bottom the villas here. I want the Attuned, I want the 2 Animate Deads, and I want the Unmask. I want those 4. I want this to resolve right away as soon as possible. I'm going to clear the way with an Unmask. I want the 2 lands because you have more chances of drawing a black card than you do a land. So I'm putting back the villas here. I want to be able to unmask and see what they're doing. I think I'm going to unmask right away here as well to kind of ensure that I can attune with impunity. Alright, so our opponent kept a hand, does almost nothing. So AK is a cycle, consider sees 2 cards, AK sees 1. I think I'm going to take the consider here. A dress down, I don't care too much about that right now. I can respond to that pretty freely. Take the consider. Our Gristlebrand. Turn. That was a really weak keep from the opponent. That's very aggressive. Emissary of Grudges. That's probably the best draw available to us. Playing Dress Down in the main phase feels bad. Oh, they drew a Consider, thought Sees Bug. Wow, out of all the cards to draw too. And they put one on top. Ugh, feels bad, bro. What are the, and it's surgical out of everything? It's so good. We're totally screwed out. God, he got us so good by drawing Consider. That's funny. Yeah, we're a couple matches in now, so that's totally fair. Totally fair. All the best art Gristlebrand's are removed. We still got some. I actually don't have too much more play because, God, we need like a million things to go right. We need an Attune effect. We need a Reanimate effect. This is not looking good for the home team. Now, if we draw like a Silence, that's super dead. I'm not even sure what our outs are. I guess we can hardcast this Emissary, maybe? That doesn't even feel that good, though. This is obviously the best draw in the deck, though. Jesus Christ. That's real good. Wow. Wow. Boop. Is there any world in which we do that? No, he's like... So Dress Down... If I bring in Villas with this Entomb Reanimate, that feels bad. Yeah, it's like the one moment when Dress Down feels good. Ugh. Let's see. They got 4 cards or 4 spells, probably 3 to 4 spells. Did we get another Archon? We kind of rode Archon to victory last time. Emissary of Grudges. Yeah, if they dress down that feels real bad. You know, I am going to entomb Sarah's Emissary. Does that still work? God, what a good Faithless Looting. Faithless Looting into Entomb Reanimate. Oh God, could you imagine doing this in like the top 8 of like a big event, or like in the finals on camera? They just surgical you off of a Consider, and you're just like, blowing out. Then you're like, Faithless Looting, Entomb, Reanimate. Been Emissary of Grudges. Oh, feels so good. So let's see here. I think it's just Archon time because as Sarah's emissary enters the battlefield, that's not an ability though. Let me Google this right quick. The card type choice is a replacement effect and not a triggered ability. It doesn't use the stack and cannot be responded to. Notably, if you choose instant, your opponents can't try to cast an instant on Sarah's emissary before it has protection. So I think that would work to where I can like name instant and be safe to swords. That loses to this wandering emperor though. I think just Archon again. It doesn't feel sexy, but I think it's our best bet. Oh, and they dress down, and that's expected. And then they can trip into another surgical extraction. Oh, all right, cool. They just swords it. That's the thing. So notably, Sarah's would have been hanging around that, but this loses to Wandering Emperor, another removal spell. Oh, wow. Man. Forecasting Grief would feel good, but this is where we're at now. Did I leave in 2 Archons? I think I do. Emissary of Grudges. Let's go. Now, if they flash in Wandering Emperor, we got him, boys. We're going to secretly choose so many. Oh, okay. So we're going to secretly choose so many opponents. Yeah. I like this over Exhume. Exhume feels good with it. Another Entomb, so let's keep that there for now. Not that it matters, I guess. Come on, Wandering Emperor already. God. I want to secretly choose an opponent. Oh, he's going for it. Is he playing into our trap card? Oh, he's going for Shark Typhoon. Damn it. Notably, that does help out the grudges. So we'll see. We'll see how this pans out. Dark Red's a good draw for later. Exhume does not target, which is good. I'll choose Emissary. Cha-cha. Oh, wait. Why didn't I get to secretly choose an opponent here? What am I missing? I think I should have gotten that, right? Whenever it says whenever Archon enters the battlefield, target opponent sacks a creature. This says as it enters the battlefield, secretly choose an opponent. Well, Sarah's Emissary says as it enters also, and I get it off of Exhume too. Hold on, I have to consult the Googles. Yeah, as it enters. Yeah, that totally should have triggered. What the heck? I think that this is incorrect, and I am going to for sure contact the MTGO people because that is supposed to work. I am like pretty damn sure. It's an as you enter the battlefield ability. This is an as you enter the battlefield ability. Yep. 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 So our opponent can Wandering Emperor here. It's like going to after damage. I don't know. Wow, 6 mana Shark Typhoon. There's so many mana. Because this does matter quite a bit. Obviously, like the ability to protect itself is why we're playing it. Damn. Yeah, I totally missed something, didn't I? Dark Red, 5, 6, 7. So we're not even close to casting anything. Just gonna keep attacking. Not good. Not a good strategy. Nope. Oh, did it work? Did I misclick or something? So I chose a spell or ability. What the fuck? What the fuck? Fuck. What is this world? Now this is exiled. So that kind of worked and it kind of didn't. Oh, there was no other legal. Yes. Okay. So that did work. Okay. So sorry for my tangent there. It chose my opponent for me. Uh, my opponent, Wandering Emperor, -2, exile target tap creature. There are no other tapped creatures. Therefore, it fizzled, and now we're gonna lose to some sharks. So this is match 2. I won 1. So we gotta be on the hustle for 3 here. 2-turn clock. Let's see. Reanimate Grief. I don't want to do that. Let's see. I'm going to for the information though. Shout outs to my opponent Darkus77 for being cool. I just had to check that out during the match, and it ate up a lot of my clock. Um, Emissary of Grudges for the meme was not the right call, but it would have just been a Chromox instead. So we'll take that out. We'll put this back in. I'm going to go down 1 Thought Seize and up. All right, good to know. Good to know. So it turns out Emissary of Grudges works on MTGO, so that's good. We confirmed that, boys. Let's go. Now we just need to play initiative. This is a perfect hand. This loses to a double interactive hand from them, so it loses to Force Surgical, Force, stuff like that. But this is about as good as we can hope for. This is exactly what we signed up for. When you play in paper, you can often make the read if your opponent is going to keep really tight. Oh, oh. I feel bad slightly, but it is what it is. This is what we signed up for. Well, this is like the Reanimator League of a lifetime for me. God, I haven't been 4-1 in a hot minute with initiative on the prowl. Turns out to win with Reanimator, all you need to do is dodge uh, main deck, Leyline of the Void, and initiative. So, yeah, I'll see you for the final match against our initiative killer deck. All right, we are back for the marbles. For the marbles against a player called Sevenator. Let's see if they are a cool person or not, man. It's hard to know. Since this hand has grief, I don't know if I'm going all in on it. Fuck. I think I'm just gonna do this. No need to, rush in. There's this old saying, "Fools rush in." All right. Fuck. Gotta take duress here, I think. Dark Rit, LED, Chromox, Lion's Eye Diamonds. They got infinite mana. Yeah, I'm just taking the duress, dude. Yeah, hopefully we don't get turned one from whatever the hell they're doing. City of Traders, Dark Writs, LEDs. I gotta feel like there's an Echo of Eons in there somewhere. They're using the cool art Dark Ritual too. Cool art Duresses. Swamp, huh? We got Thoughtseize bugged again. Dark Red. I don't know what they're doing. Could be opposition agenting in addition to other things. I'm gonna go ahead and entomb here. This plays around a few different things. And I'm gonna get Phyllis, Broker of Blood, because I'll be able to kill like Dothies and stuff. Alright, so I got 5. Our opponent has true brewer's advantage. This Ant Tess, whatever. Okay, yeah. Straight up. Just fucking go, ad nos, baby. There's so many different uh like mono black decks that run junk like this. I wasn't really expecting the old school Storm, but we're pretty heavily favored in the next matches, so I'm not too upset about this one. Getting turned one on the play is tough, but it is what it is. Damn, second Adnos. So this is a list of cards that does stuff presumably, but they got us here. And the Herbor Tomb of Yalma. What the fuck? So is this what they call ants? Ad nauseum tendrils? Because it's just like there is no red, and there's like all this artifact mana. They should have the win here, right? They have like infinite mana. 1, 2, 3, up to 5. Yeah, up to 8. Yeah, they got it. So I hope they can do this math. Yeah, they have infinite mana. They're good. Duress on the way out. What are you thinking? Let me untap with Wish Claw. You won't, coward. They're just spinning lots of wheels, doing lots of whole lot of nothing, just spinning some wheels here. Yep, Duressing me on the way out. Duress, hold priority, crack Lion's Eye Diamond, concede the game. Let's go. Just fucking went for discard my hand to activate Wish Claw for the game. That's so funny. Storm counts 13. Yeah, they got it. That's cool. Yeah, it's just like a mono black ant. That's interesting, I think. I don't know. Okay. So I think we're pretty favored here. I actually like this matchup. Post side. We should get to go, like this. So I am gonna usually I would side out Sarah's like in a heartbeat. Uh because if you name sorcery, they get an instant to bounce it. If you name instant, it doesn't really do a lot. So I usually side that out. Historically, I do like leaving on one Archon. There have been so many times where like you're just going off and like you just need 3 extra life to put you over the finish line, and then they just win. Can't do anything about it. So discard effects are great. Big fan of those. Silence is that's gonna win us the game. I think since I'm bringing in Chancellor, I'm gonna take out Archon. And should we run it 61 card special? No, I'm not gonna take out Grombox. Well, we could do a 61 card special. Just not going to. Don't bring in your Wear Tear. You're not gonna like spike Lion's Eye Diamond or something. You're not gonna mess up their storm or whatever. Like, don't do that. It's just bad. Bring in Serenity. They're gonna cast everything on one turn. Just like stick to a nice tight game plan here. And if you're not gonna turn one, make sure you have a silence. This is fucking cruel and unusual punishment. Magic. God, if these one of these Lotus Petals were a black card, we'd be in the money. Sometimes there are some guys on MTGO who run surgical on the side and these kinds of decks. Uh, just something to keep an eye out for. I don't usually play around that because whatever. Yeah, you're gonna run like two surgicals in your storm combo. Okay, fine. Opponent's down to 5 cards, so they're probably gonna mull down to discard. It's kind of tough for us. We can cast a silence on their upkeep to stop them from duressing us. And if we draw a black card, we unmask ourselves in tune or unmask and exhume. That might be a good line there. They could open on like a mono black death kind of strategy, Leyline of the Void. In which case, like, silence is just our game plan. Yep. Alright, silence is the game plan. I had a feeling that as I was talking through that, that's what they would be doing. I'm gonna try and. They have 2 discard effects they'll get us here. I almost want them to play into, casting something with Wishclaw or something. I don't know. This is a handful of cards. Jeez. Yeah, we need them to go in on this. We need them to go in on something so we can cast silence and win. I think I'm gonna take the Wishclaw. So technically we can hardcast Gristlebrand. It's not gonna happen though. All right. 3, 4, 5. If we draw another Dark Writ, we hardcast Gristlebrand. That feels good. Looks like Wishclaw was the correct take there. Exhume is dead, so that's kind of annoying. If we do draw another unmask effect, that'll be good though. Okay, Dark Red and Tomb Exhume were our draws. That's obviously Magic wants us to do something here. I have no idea what. Our opponent draws another land on turn 4. I'll make the only play available to me. Let's see what do they take here? I don't know what they take. Took Gristlebrand. That's a card they could take. I guess I don't know. I don't know if I would have took that. I suppose that gives perfect information. It's probably not what we wanted to do. Yeah, they might just get us here on this really odd deck. Is this just the hands? It must be, right? Oh, yeah, and then they sideboard into the Leyline Helm. Yeah, so be it. We went 4-1. That's not bad. Got a couple of chesties, some chesticles, and whatever this is. Baller Fire Point? Okay. So, yeah, looks like I'm going to have to record another league here with the old initiative killer. Killed 0 initiative. Well, we won 1 initiative game. Do you guys consider that like a real deck though? I don't know. I probably don't. But I feel like we're not unfavored against them. So Yeah, Emissary of Grudges. Turns out it works when you exhume it. It just doesn't give you the option to choose an opponent, which is deeply triggering. I will send an angrily worded letter to whomever WotC contracted to manage the software. I will do that on behalf of all you guys because I am in your corner. You're in my corner, and we're in this together. So, yeah, I'll record a couple more leagues. I'm going to put this one up anyway because it did well. I don't know. Yeah, hit some buttons or something, and see you next time. Bye.